Hey guys, this is Velocity Reaper here, and we are back again with some more Fortnite talk, guys. So it's almost as if Fortnite just played my trap card. Literally, I just finished talking about what they were doing with their changes, what I was expecting to happen, and now they give us an official kind of rebuttal, not towards me actually, towards the community. So this is not towards me at all. I don't have that kind of communication with Epic. However, this statement that they've given us is huge. Literally, it addresses a lot of the changes that we've been seeing and what their plans are for those changes and why we keep seeing them pop up randomly without them being asked for. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, here's what the statement is saying. It's first off, it is titled Counterplay and Playstyle. So that's a very important thing to note, as I'm going to explain a little bit of that as well. But we start off by saying we're going to continue to make changes to evolve the game to give players multiple ways to counter each other in combat and create more strategies to win the game. Now that's a pretty standard first sentence, nothing too crazy right there. But again, I've been talking a lot about how they want to bring it down to skill, a lot more gun-based things for the competitive scene. They're trying to switch things up. They know that it's stale and they need to get away to make players think differently than what they normally do, more than just the build LOL, which they actually get into a little bit later on. So Fortnite is constantly evolving. Our goal with any changes is to keep the game fun and interesting, keeping it feeling fresh and new. It's important to support a variety of late game strategies, that's very important, that don't boil down to just build LOL. We strongly believe that the evolution of Fortnite supports a wide range of playstyles and counterplay. Currently, the superiority of shotguns, rockets, and uncapped building are such a dominant playstyle in the final circle that most other strategies are being drowned out. Recent and upcoming changes. We have made a few changes recently and will continue to make more to give you options to counter other players in combat, especially in the late game. We are exploring changes to weapon balancing and resource economy, such as resource caps. So moving forward, where does this leave us? Kind of the title of my video. You should be able to find victory royales through multiple strategies. Shotguns should be strong, but other weapons have room to grow. Not every encounter should have to end in a build-off. We want to empower you to showcase your skill, strategy, and tactics in all varieties of ways. So that last little sentence is just like we'll be exploring a little bit more. So I'm not going to continue reading all of that. But basically, guys, there's three major points I want to talk about here, and we're going to be very quick about. So number one is right here in front of our faces. We are going to continue to make changes to evolve the game to give players multiple ways to counter each other in combat. That is what we're talking about when we see these nerfs for shotguns. We see these nerfs for mats. We see these nerfs for llamas. They want to, bring it down to gun steel, bring it down to a new play style. It wants to see players do something different other than the just building, which they reiterate in the third paragraph by literally saying that don't boil down to just build LOL, which they're actually memeing the Reddit. The Reddit is very popular for saying that phrase. We strongly believe that the evolution of Fortnite supports a wide range of playstyles and counterplay. Yes, support it, support it, support it, support it. That is awesome. That's great. But you're going in the wrong direction with this. Currently, the superiority of shotguns, rockets, and uncapped. Yes, that is understood. We understand that. That's very, very clear to us that we know that's where those nerfs came from. And again, that's why I was saying about competitive play is also a way to set that up. And they know that they need to have different play styles. Like I said, the stink grenade is pushing people out. Thermal is to scope out areas. Again, just different ways to play. Huge, huge changes right there. So then they kind of go into their own view of what those things could be in future changes. Resource caps has been talked about a lot, and people are thinking it's going to go down to around 500 capped, so you don't start, go all the way up to 999, and that's actually gonna be a very, very interesting change to see if that happens, and we'll see what other things they want to bring to the table. And then again, they go ahead and just say moving forward, you want to find different ways to get to the victory royale. So what to kind of pull from all of this, and I know I didn't really explain too much deeply about this, but I'm going to give you guys my personal opinions, of course, of what I've seen so far. So currently, core community, very, very unhappy, and are kind of trying to give as much positive feedback as possible without getting into their own personal feelings about it. A lot of the reason why Fortnite is a unique game is because of the building. They know that, but to look at it from a standpoint of people, new players who are coming in who can't get their wins, who don't know how to build, who can't use these different weapons, are struggling, and it makes it so much harder to play the game. Honestly, if I didn't learn so much from streamers and so much from Nafburger, I would never have known how to play this game and how to get better. I wouldn't have gotten better for you guys. I probably would have never played this game if I was on my own and I knew I couldn't get wins because these players were just so much better than me. And lucky for me, I came in at a time where it was very, very, very progressive and people were still getting better. So I wasn't in a bad position overall. However, it is not the same for every single player out there. Right now, there's players who have just picked up the game today, probably. I'm sure there's thousands and thousands of people who have just picked up the game and they don't know what to do. So that's what they're trying to get at, is trying to get those new players a way to, be incorporated into the main mechanics of the game, to be able to handle these things in different ways. They want you to pick up a weapon and be able to use it just as good as the next person, no matter how good that person is building. If you can use that weapon better than them, then yes, you will win that gunfight. They don't want it to come down to the who has the better rockets, who has the shields at the end, who has the more mats at the end. They don't want that. That is what they're trying to get away from, because they know that that's not going to work very well, not only in the game in the future, but also for the competitive scene as well. That's something that, again, they're focusing on, but they're not stating clearly. I believe that it's still revolving around that competitive scene idea. And I think personally, I'm going to give you guys my personal opinions. So, as a player who has been playing since Season 3, which isn't that long time, I can't really put too much into the core Fortnite players. I don't think that I'm a core Fortnite player at all. I won't say that. However, I think that as a player who has gotten a lot better at the game, but still isn't that good at building, who still struggles to win a lot of his matches, and struggles, when it comes to big build fights and stuff like that, I tend to back up. You guys know that. You guys know that I will tend to stay down at the bottom, because that's not my thing. I can't build. That's not my thing. I build a little bit, but I don't build a whole lot, and nobody, can say that I'm a good builder. That's out of the question. However, changes like this, where as a core player would see it, is really affecting the overall game. And personally for me, I'm okay with some of these changes. Personally for me, I think that some of these changes are okay. Do I want people to have less mats when going up against me? Yes, I will be honest. I think that having less mats, I really do want it to come down to seeing if my gun skill is actually a little bit better than someone else's. I don't think I get enough of those opportunities in terms of gunfights, unless it's the first maybe minute of the game, when you just land and no one's got mats and you're just shooting and trying to get the kills, trying to get knocks, trying to get their weapons or whatever. And to be honest, I think I like that. I really enjoy that. And when I was progressively getting better as a player, I found myself in a lot of those situations where my gun skill just happened to be significantly better than other players. My high ground was better, my headshots were better, and I can throw in some clips of that if you guys would like to see that as well right now, of just situations where obviously I played the situation very, very well, and it ended up working out in my favor. So as my position in this, I really do think that some of these changes, yes, I approve of, and I think that this evolution of the game is good. However, if you really want to look at the core people, the streamers who are streaming 6 to 10 hours a day, you are definitely pulling their strings right now in terms of just taking away what made it fun for them and taking away what they kind of showed off to people as skill. Their skills came from building, and they came from their shooting as well. Their accuracy is very, very impressive. However, their building skills are also a very, very big thing in their gameplays as well. So, but that's just a real quick take on things that I've seen, kind of looking at community replies and just my personal opinions as well. And honestly, it kind of worries me a little bit in terms of just kind of trying to decide which community to cater to, whether it be core or to new players, and that's going to be a struggle that Epic is going to try and figure out over the coming months, most likely. So honestly, I gave this game a 5-year timeline, and now I'm kind of worried that timeline is much, much lower than that. And when I say that, I mean that for how long the game is going to be fun and enjoyable. People are already starting to say, I'm really tired out, after this update I might just stop playing, and I don't know. I really don't know, guys. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!